It seems I am just out here in these streets living my life out loud, so nobody else has to. I am making all the mistakes, so nobody else ain't gotta make them. It happened again, y'all. It happened again. I got scammed. We getting into this conversation on what happened this time around, right after this. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here yet again. If you have not already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So, hubby and I decided we were going to purchase a new refrigerator. So the refrigerator that we have, I don't know if you guys seen it in the last video, you probably did, but it's a very small, compact type refrigerator that we just simply transferred over from our apartment to our house. So it's way too small. All of the kids are here. We're a big family. We need room to be able to store things. So hubby and I is like, you know what? Let's go ahead and purchase a new fridge with a bigger freezer so we will be able to buy meat in bulk and store it in the freezer. So I decide, you know what? I know Facebook Marketplace is good because when I was in the States, I shopped on Facebook Marketplace all the time. I never had no issues. So I thought, you know, let's save a little coin or two and go right on Facebook Marketplace and try to get us a refrigerator. So I found one which was Hisense brand. And it was around like 1,300 CDs. So I was thinking, that's pretty cheap for Hisense. But if it's used, I was like, okay, maybe they're just trying to get rid of it really quick. I've never had any issues with Facebook Marketplace. So I showed husband and he was like, really? Hisense for this price? He was like, I don't know, this seems a little fishy. So we end up calling the guy. And so husband talks to the guy, they converse back and forth, they come to an agreement. So the agreement is husband was going to pay the cost of the transport. Once we received the refrigerator in our possession, we would test it, make sure everything worked, and then we would provide the balance of what we owed on the refrigerator. So husband, okay, agreed. Husband sends over the cost of transport for the refrigerator to come from Accra, because it was in Accra, to Cape Coast where we live. After the guy receives the money for the cost of the transport, he sends my husband on WhatsApp a video footage that he is at the station. He's sending the refrigerator off. My husband and I like, wow, that was pretty quick. Like he must live like right next to the transport station because how do you get there that quick with a refrigerator? So almost instantaneously, at the same time, the man calls demanding that we send the full cost of the refrigerator, stating that the boss is not in agreement with it, and he is demanding from the head office that they receive the full amount for the refrigerator before they can actually ship it to us. Husband gets off of the phone. We discussed it amongst each other and we decide, you know what? We're just gonna cancel this thing and we will just find a refrigerator either locally or we will wait until we have the time to travel into Accra and just shop around then. At least we can see it like, you know, in person. So husband calls the guy and tells the guy, just send the money back. Just send the cost for the transport back. We'll make time and we will come to Accra to where you are located and pick the refrigerator up in person. All communication was deleted. This guy went on WhatsApp and literally deleted everything, all of the messages that he had sent to husband. Needless to say, do you think we got the money back? Okay. So yeah, guys, I feel like that I'm just out here in these streets of Ghana, just living out loud, making all of these scamming mistakes so nobody else has to come after me and make the same mistakes. So my advice to anyone living in Ghana or traveling into Ghana or planning to relocate to Ghana is that you are really careful. especially when you are sending your coin through means of the local way of sending money, such as here we use Momo. And with Momo, once you send your money, there's no way to get it back. So it's just like Cash App, right? So in the States, we have Cash App. If we send Cash App, we know that we better know who that person is we're sending to, because we know Cash App is not getting involved. They kind of, it's like it's on you. Same thing with PayPal. If they even have a warning, before you send your money, make sure you know this person, because if anything were to happen, you're not getting your money back. So it's the same thing. MTN Momo works the same exact way here. Once you send your money, that is it. There's nothing that they can do about it. So if you are going to be here in Ghana long term and you are going to be utilizing these electronic systems of payment, you have to make sure that you are aware of who you are sending your money to. Because once it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to do a bank dispute. There's no way to get your money back. That is just the end. And I just feel it's crazy that people are taking these measures and going this extreme, frauding people to get a little bit of money. Like, it's like they don't understand that, yeah, you may be receiving an immediate financial gain from frauding and scamming, but long-term karma works. It's a universal law. What you reap, you shall also sow, and vice versa. So do you really think that you are going to be able to sit around scamming, and it's never going to come back around to you? Like, come on. And people wonder why they're still sitting around chewing their fingers looking for their next meal, because you cannot do people wrong. You cannot sit around with the intentions of intentionally frauding and scamming, and the universe is not watching and taking note of what's happening. So yeah, we took an L again, but it's okay, because the same way they're going to receive their karma, we're also going to receive ours. And the universe sees it all. So that's why we stay blessed. We stay, pressing forward. Doors continuously open because of who we are and how the universe is honoring us for who we are. So while these crazy things happen in Ghana, it happens everywhere. But even if you're living in the US, just recently I was watching a story where a woman, she was even a school teacher. Like, ain't they supposed to be the smartest ones? A school teacher in the States. She had received a phone call from the IRS telling her that she needed to provide a substantial amount of money, that she was included in a money laundering scheme, that she was being watched by the government, that her phone was being tapped, and she believed this lie. And she went into panic mode. I don't know if it was because she just heard the IRS in the same sentence as going to jail. The people were on the phone with her for a good 10 hours. At the end of the 10-hour phone conversation, she had given away $50,000 and counting, because she didn't just stop there. After she went and purchased all of these gift cards and loaded all of this money onto gift cards to give the gift card numbers to the people, she then goes to her mom's house. And she's crying hysterically, asking her mother, please, can you just loan me some money? The IRS is on the phone. They are saying that I owe this amount of money, and if I don't pay them, I'm going to go to jail. And her mom is like, wait a minute. Something here doesn't make any sense, because the IRS is never going to contact you demanding that you send payment by way of gift cards. It, fortunately enough, ended there, but not without her having already given away $50,000. So scamming is happening everywhere, and we just have to be so careful and so mindful of what we are doing and how we are choosing to maneuver when we are making these financial transactions. I even seen a video, I was browsing on TikTok. I came across a video. These scammers opened up an ATM machine. Again, this is in the States. They opened up the ATM machine, took some type of scanning electronic device and attached it to the ATM machine. So then they proceeded to close the ATM machine back up. So what happens when you go and you use your card and you go to the ATM machine and you're putting your card inside of the machine and you're withdrawing your money, this machine that they have attached to the ATM machine is now scanning and skimming all of your information. It's taking your code, it's taking your card numbers, And then you question, like, so how can I be safe? Because who's going to go to the ATM machine investigating inside of the machine? Like, nobody has that capability. So it's like certain schemes and scams, it's just like almost like inevitable in a way, because how can you protect yourself when they are going to this extent, hiding a device inside of the machine, which you're just going to the ATM machine thinking that it's a, regular ATM transaction. And I feel like, the banks have to do a much better job with securing these ATM machines, even if it's establishing like a constant security check, like all throughout the day, all throughout the night, or maybe setting up security around the ATMs to ensure that, people aren't coming in and tampering with those machines, just to make it a little bit more safe and a little bit more secure for people who rely on these ATMs and different electronic systems as a means to get their money out of the bank. This is something that is happening more on a large scale, and we're beginning to see it more and more in Ghana, because there are hardly any job opportunities for people. People really are in a position where they are becoming desperate, and they just want a way out. They want to be financially free. They want to be able to provide for their families. They want to be able to live a comfortable life, and it's very difficult to do that when you're living in Ghana and you're relying on this Ghanaian currency. It's very hard. I feel their pain. But at the same time, I also feel the pain of the people who are on the other side of that spectrum, such as customers and people who are conducting business transactions and things of that nature, because what about them also, right? Not everybody is fortunate enough to have finances. Even coming from the US, like, we have moments when we're struggling to make ends meet. It's fortunate enough when we can put ourselves in a better position and be able to make a decent living, and even beyond that, to be able to, take care of our families. But it does not come without struggle. And I think a lot of people fail to see that as well, which is another thing that happens here in Ghana, is that, like, people just think that you're an ATM machine. They think because you come from the US that you have all of this money. They look at you like you're the spoiled rich kid. Right? Like, what are you talking about? You come from all of this money and you're coming here, and it's almost like, oh, you want to be selfish? You don't want to share the wealth? But they don't understand that we have had our fair share of struggling just as well as they have. We're not excluded just because we have been born and raised abroad. It does not exclude us from the aspect of struggling. And a lot of times they don't understand how we started. They don't understand where we begin in this journey of being in a position to be able to comfortably provide it for our families. Things have not always been easy for everybody. Yeah, as my grandmother always says, some people are born with a silver spoon in their mouths, but that's not always the case for everybody. There are many, many African Americans I can specifically speak for, because, I come from America. And there are many, many of us who start from the bottom. Like, we literally started with nothing. We literally had to be on public assistance and food stamps and these various government services in order to help sustain us while we were working towards a greater goal. It wasn't always a start where everything was peaches and cream. We had to get it from the mud. We was in the trenches just like anybody else. And a lot of times that goes unnoticed. Especially when you're traveling to countries that's not as fortunate. And I think that we also have to count our blessings coming from these various places where government services are offered in order for you to get on your feet. Because, again, like in Ghana, that doesn't happen. There's no way that you're getting food stamps. There's no way that you're getting the government to pay your rent. There's no way that you're getting the government to do anything. So it's very difficult to try to progress ahead, because it's like you're counting every cent, every dollar. You're really relying on that constant flow, no matter where it's coming from, to help sustain you. And it's difficult. There's a lot of people like my husband and I. We were just recently out, just enjoying, having a little mental break from life. we got into conversation with one of the workers that work at the bar where we were sitting and having conversation. And my husband asked her, because we were having a conversation just about like how people work so hard for very little here in Ghana. And my husband asked the lady who works at the bar, he says, how much money do you make a month, like working here? So here in Ghana, they only get paid monthly. I don't know how they survive. Like, to be honest, I've asked myself this question, my husband this question so many times. How do these people survive? How? So they get paid monthly. The lady told my husband she only makes 400 CDs every month. That's it, to take care of her family. 400 CDs is less than $50. She makes less than $50 for the whole entire month. So can you imagine by the time she even receives her paycheck, the expenses that she has? Like, I don't know if she has kids, but if she does have kids, she has to feed the child. She has to clothe the child. She has to, pay for transportation to get back and forth to work. Like, these different costs that come with being an adult. And my question always is how do you live off of that? How can you survive off of less than $50 a month? It just pains me so much when I truly know the struggles that go on here in Ghana, and my heart just really goes out. And I'm always thinking of a way, like, how can I help to put, Ghanaians and, people here in a better position financially to be able to make some real money that is going to be able to really sustain them, and not only sustain them, but also provide other opportunities for them. So that is something that I am constantly pondering. I pray that I am in a position very soon where I can be able to help, pull other people up. Like, I just feel like, all of the blessings that I'm constantly receiving, it's not just for me, the blessings that come to my family, period. It's not just about us, but I want to be able to give back to other people. And I hope that in me doing that, they too will then reach back and give back as well. So I just can only pray that we as a people, period, get to a much better place, and that we don't have to take these means and measures of scheming and scamming to try to get ahead in life. I just pray for a better Ghana. I pray for a better us. I pray for unity. I pray for more opportunities. I pray for growth. I pray for wisdom. I pray for knowledge. I pray for opportunities for us all. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation. Drop a comment and let me know what your thoughts are on this conversation. And don't forget to like, share, comment. And what we gonna do? We gonna subscribe. See y'all later.